VMW TV, powered by Vending Market Watch.
This December marks your 3-year anniversary as the leader of NAMA. So at this point, after 3 years, what do you really see your role in the organization and the industry in general as?
Evolving, just like the industry. From the time I entered the door, I tried to listen, and I continued to do that in a very purposeful way. And I have represented the industry, I believe, well and vocally for the past 3 years. But now I believe my role is to continue to represent and advocate on behalf of the industry increasingly in a public arena. Now, I've spoken to our membership a lot over the years. I have spoken to key audiences. I particularly anticipate in the external capacity that my role will continue to evolve, and that is in the media, both industry and mainstream. It's in Washington, and it is wherever the if you want to call them battles or the discourse is taking place, to really give voice to what this industry represents, both in terms of its needs and its potential. So that's one. So I really an increased and accelerated role as a spokesperson to and for the industry. Excellent. And on the two part, and this perhaps directs to our constituents current and prospective, it's to be a greater truth teller.
You want to go into that a bit more? A greater truth teller.
I thought that might get your attention. Telling the truth about all the wonderful, so if you want to think about the people who we are attempting to influence, it is certainly telling all the wonderful things that we have and continue to do in a specialty retailer, away from home or consumer-oriented market, of course. Mm-hmm. But it's also having the conversations, the promising ones and the tough ones, about what it's going to take to realize our potential. And that, you've heard me talk about change, but talking in truthful, reasoned business cases, kinds of ways about the pathways forward and the choices we have to make, hard and easy, the investments we have to make, the payments that we have to put forward. That's what I mean about being a truth teller, providing the thought leadership and the voice to how to really capitalize on the future. I don't know if I'm saying anything different, but I might be saying it differently.
Very interesting. Does any of this have anything to do with perhaps the industry's feelings most recently on the FDA's final rule on calorie disclosure? Would you see this as a topic that you would be a truth teller on?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't say that I know exactly how the industry feels about the calorie disclosure rules. So suffice it to say, they came out earlier this week, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, so and the amount of complexity. Well, first of all, the amount of regulatory activity and rules that are being pumped out into the system are a homework project, bar none. So I think the devil really is in the details, in that we have the broad brushstrokes of what it means, but we really have to understand, negotiate, and advocate on the application and the enforcement of those rules to know whether or not it's an opportunity or a challenge. It's probably both. What I do know for certain is that the work that we did in both telling a great story, being a good partner, and arguing the hard stuff with the FDA positioned our industry better than many and most, and that is by their own admission. There were many industries that were taken by surprise with calorie disclosure, not knowing that it was going to reach as far as it did for some of the bricks and mortar grocery store retailers. Mm-hmm. And not only was our voice heard, the FDA mentioned us in their blog as one of their most influential and beneficial partnerships as they were doing their due diligence and making the tough choices. They gave us a longer compliance time, and they accepted our request for front of pack labeling. So if the products have the information and our members are able to do something as simple, if this is as simple as it sounds, mm-hmm. Our operators are able to position a product in a machine with a calorie label already on the package, and our manufacturer companies are able to comply with the sizing of that placard. I'd say that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah,
so I hope the industry feels like, well, that's as good as it may have gotten.
Absolutely, and it could have been very much worse.
Much worse. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, we're going to continue to scrutinize it. And we have to. The truth telling comes to helping our members understand that this is happening. Mm-hmm. It's unavoidable. It's happening. Mm-hmm. We're not being singled out. And so best to be as much a part of controlling what happens to you than not.
Absolutely. So then what are you looking for from the industry? I mean, with this new presence, how you're going to say things now, where are you going to address them, and what would you like them to reach out and help out do?
So within the last week or two, I several times and in several addresses and along the way of my 3 years, I've been talking from the beginning about a CEO forum. And we came together about a week or so ago with a group of thought leaders and put our visioning hats on. And we came up with the prototype for the forum and the kinds of things we want to be talking about in the realm of strategy, relationships, technology, and customer and culture. And looking at hosting it at a very non-traditional place, such as a Google campus. Oh. And, right.
Excellent.
See, I saw your reaction when I said that. And so what I'm looking for from the industry is to engage with us as we begin these new conversations, to be willing to be open to listen, and to think that as we plot our way forward, there might be some new ways or different ways of doing things, some things to learn. Sometimes 9/10 of it is just knowing that you're doing 9/10 of it well. And the 1/10 that maybe you're not, there's something that NAMA can do to help you figure that out.